Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music and a Breakdown Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. Oh my God, it's such an awesome song. Don't know how anyone could come up with it. It's amazing. We're going to break it all down. Also, thanks for supporting me with Marty Music. I also have a Patreon with a bunch of cool bonuses. Check out the link below for that, and it really helps me out, so thank you so much. Let's rock. All right, this is in DAD-GAD tuning, so that means D, A, D, G, A, and D. Now we're going to put our pinky on the 5th fret of the A string and our index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then my other two fingers are kind of resting lightly on the strings a bit. And that way I'm going to be muting everything other than that A string and G string. And I'm going to play the rhythm. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Followed by the open, what we normally call E string. It's been tuned down to D. So the open string after that. Then index finger moves up a half step and we repeat the pattern. But I was showing you that. I'm keeping my fingers like that. So that way I kind of let go of the muting to get that open string. So then we're going to change fingering, but really you're just doing that same riff. You know, it's just going up half steps. Now, middle finger switches to the A string 5, 5th fret, and index finger on the 4th of the G, same pattern. And I'm just basically muting that top string here, or the E string, or tuned down to D. I'm muting it with my thumb and the tip of my middle finger for the... And then you hear that again. Then ring finger goes up to 5th fret G string. Same rhythm, same kind of muting. So from the top. Now, the riff starts over, but starts with this octave. But this is the start over of the riff, and it replaces the first part with this now. See that? So it's the 5th fret A, 7th fret G. So it just replaces the first one of that. So from the top. And so that goes up to the 12th fret. It's all the same pattern. So it's the, I'll show you what I mean. You're going to be like, oh, wow, that sounds so amazing. And it's pretty easy. So middle finger on the G, ring finger on the high E, and it's the 12th fret each. And you can strum these top 4 strings here. But if you got all of them in there, that works as well. So Watch this. So it's just going da da, which starts on the 12th fret, and the middle finger goes 12 to 11. So you go da da. Then you just do that same thing on the 10th fret. So 12th fret, 10th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, and then you hop over to the D string and play 3, 2, 0. And so when you go ba-da-da, when it goes back in to the first riff again, you have to go like this to feel where it is in the pattern. So it's actually, if you went through the riff, it's that. That's where it comes in from. It's this one with the 5 and 3 followed by the ba, like that. So there's this awesome overdub. This is not on one guitar, but it's great to know, and you can insert it in as a one guitar player thing, and it's pretty easy again, a little fast, but very cool. So it's just middle finger on the 12th fret A string, and the melody is 12, 11, back to 12, and then up to 14. Then back to 12, 11. So 12, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11, 12. And then you go down to the 9th fret of the A string. But if you get the open E string, but the tune to D. Now, if you could do all down strums, that's cool. You can do alternate. Now, you really got to avoid all the other strings. You're just shooting for these top two. So I'll play the riff slow, and you can hear where this fits in. Because you got to insert it and then go back to where you're fitting in time with riff number 1. So it's just taking up the first one. You know, the first. So but to go back to, you have to go to the original riff number 1. So listen to the formula because it goes back to the riff. Then it goes back to this cascading lick again and into the next section. So check out how it transitions from this thing we already learned. So there's a lick. And it starts with what we already had, which is that 3-2-0 on the D string, but then 0-2 on the A string, and then the open D string. And then if you just form this A power chord, just focus on the A and D string, and then hit that G string, and you can add this effect. So I'm sliding up to that root. If you wanted, you could add the 9th fret G. You know, there's an orchestra, so there's a lot of really nice layering going on, but nothing. Lick. See that? So it alternates. One's a little space, the other one's. It transitions. And that's how it gets back into the main riff again. There's one other section that happens, and it's basically just a G chord to an A chord. But with the tuning, it looks a little different. So a G chord, you could think of it this way, which would be a 5th fret, and then ring finger on the 5 of the B, 5 of the high E, you know, just like a G power chord. The A string's muted. So the A power chord, think of it like we were doing earlier, or even these two, you can't get the B string in there. So if you added the 2nd fret high E because of the way it's tuned, that sounds cool, or just the... Now the guitar's not doing that, but because it's like kind of has a little bit of a Middle Eastern sounding scale, if you're just playing it without your 20-piece orchestra, you can add some of that by hitting that 3rd fret of the G string, so you got the G,